can't hear you. You're muted.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to Let's Talk Theater. I am Winston Wilson. I am the board president of the Atlanta Black Theater Festival. I am here with the wonderful founder, Tony Simmons Henson. Tony, it's been a phenomenal year. It's been so amazing. In this episode today, we're going to talk about something unique that you may not know about in regards to the festival, but it's one of the key components about our success. And it's so thrilling. And it's really about how our students get involved. And Tony, I think this is such a great way to kick this off. And so, for those of you who didn't go to or wasn't part of the 14th year, the 15th year is coming up. So get ready to be part of it because it's going to be an amazing year. And welcome to our episode here today. So, Tony,
Yes. I'm so excited. I'm geeked. I'm really geeked about this particular episode. It probably is my favorite topic to discuss when talking about the Atlanta Black Theater Festival. Thank you so much. I had a meeting yesterday with the department head at Spelman, and I haven't shared this news with you because it just happened yesterday. And
hot off the presses.
Man, it is something. It is really something else. And I'm not going to share a little too much, but we just had a board retreat. And we got together, we put our heads together to figure out what the next 15 years are going to look like as we approach our 15th year. And we discovered that there's a huge need in the marketplace to support African-American collegiate students in the arts, and that they need safe spaces and a place to plug in, recharge, and network with industry professionals in theater. And so that is the direction we're going in to kind of develop structures so that we can fill in that gap.
I'm so excited about this. This is going to be great for us.
It is. And I met with Hampton's department head chair. So I'm doing this like tour to try to figure out what the needs are in the industry for college students and as emerging artists.
Yeah. So if everyone didn't recall, this past Labor Day, we had the festival at Spelman College. And it was a resounding hit, not just for those who were participating in it, but from the campus, the students. And Tony, it sounds like the college itself was really loved what we did.
Yeah, that's part of what we talked about. We talked about all the wins that we had, and I was really most taken aback by the comments. And we gave each other candid feedback about it, but the most important I think takeaway for me was she was just totally blown away at how organized we were. And I was saying to myself, okay, that's an interesting takeaway. And I was like, well, we've been doing this for 14 years. And I think that when people think, you're going to do what? You're going to mount what? 6 shows?
In a period of time, and this is going to come up and down. I think people were really like, oh my gosh, can that occur? And it occurred, and it went well.
Yes. Yeah. But I don't know if you remember in a far distant past, we did 40 plays in 4 days.
I do remember this fondly. Yes.
And I was like, okay, I'm glad with post-pandemic, we changed the business model. But I'm excited about who we have on. You want to talk about who's in our studio today?
Yeah. So we had so many young people that helped this year. And they not only were they from Atlanta, but they were from surrounding areas and some of the other HBCUs. And they all came together and they really galvanized around what we needed. A lot of them were like, what can we do? When can we go? Where can we do? Even on top of the responsibilities that we gave them. Which I thought was great. And so we have one of those students today. But we also have, in my opinion, he's like somewhat of an oracle for the ABTF. That every time there's something going on, he's always there for us. And he is a university professor. My son was an intern a number of years ago. He can't stop talking about the wonderful, wonderful Andre Minkins. So,
Yes, let's start with Andre.
Hello, hello, hello.
hey,
I
Andre.
feel good being one of the young people here today. And no, no, thank you all for having me on. It was such a joy and a pleasure. Well, every year that I've been involved with the youth side of the festival and doing other things, being in it, producing, directing, it's been a joy to be a part of this festival. Um, and I think the young people, I mean, we had a great number of young people this year, and I'm glad I was able to help to just ring the alarm, sound the bell, help Tony and Winston sound the bell on people who may not have known about it. I'm around colleges all the time. I'm first of all, foremost, working at Winston-Salem State University, but I do conferences and festivals, and I'm in touch with so many of the schools. For so long, I feel very honored and blessed to have had that type of connection
That's great.
with the young people. With-
Andre, Tony
yeah.
made a comment. She made a comment a little bit just a few minutes ago about how Spellman perceived us to be very organized, and
Now,
and
I was watching
and,
that reaction, uh,
and I would have
and
to say you were a big part of that.
oh, I appreciate that. Having grown up, I was one of the young people for real back in the day when festivals started, and a lot of these black festivals started, and yeah, so we know that festivals are, it's just in its nature to have moments of having to pivot, and the great thing is having a team of people that can pivot with you, and I'm glad I've been able to witness that over the 14 years, going on 15 now. I missed the very first one as a participant, but I did. I went around. Tony wasn't even around. I was like on the backside. Everything was closed down, and I walked around the space and going, okay, I see this happen. Oh, I see this is set up for this the next time. Because I had intended on being there for the whole time, but something came up and I ended up having to get to Atlanta really late. But I saw the potential and all of the, like when you go on the site, I feel like archaeologists, when you go on the site or somebody has been cooking or somebody has pots over here and they did this. So I felt like somebody, witnessing the birth of a festival that really was gonna, take off. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were there in the creation of history.
yeah, yeah,
I'm telling
yeah.
you,
I gotta stop myself from
Andre
the history
is
stuff.
Andre is definitely
Mm,
interwoven in our history, and so many pictures. When I look back at the pictures, he's in so many of them.
mm.
And both of us, no, I have aged. Andre has not.
Thank you very much.
That's
Yes,
what I say.
I thank my
But
ancestors.
yes, thank your genes definitely are. But you know what? It's so, to me, it's just special to see the way you work with the kids. I
Yeah,
mean, we've done everything. You've even taught summer camps that we did for a couple years.
Yeah.
You've done everything, but now you're serving officially as the coordinator for the Dr. Doris Derby monologue competition, which is named in honor of the civil rights photographer, Dr. Doris Derby, and the support that she has provided to keep and sustain that program. And we have one of the participants here today,
yeah.
Xavier Jefferson. I'm going to bring it up, but I want to bring him on to talk a little bit about his walk and his journey and how he got to got to the ABTF.
Hi, how are y'all doing?
Hey, Xavier.
What's up?
Hey, so a little bit about me. I'm Xavier Jefferson. I graduated from NYU, and then I'm from Atlanta. So actually, the metro area is Snellville, Georgia. And how I got here was uh, it was someone that my dad worked with me, and then she was just like, Shelby Jackson, the DeKalb County Commission of Entertainment, and she was like, "There's this awesome thing called the Atlanta Black Theater Festival," and I was like,
Wow.
"Atlanta Black Theater Festival." I though I've been in theater for a while, like the only black theater I've got to know was through True Colors, which August Wilson monologue competition. So as soon as I've heard about y'all, I was like, Yeah, I have to. And there was time with the monologue. I was just interning, and when I was there, it was just nothing but like black joy and black theater, and it was a very very fun weekend where we got to explore uh, all different types of shows. We got to one help out with shows, as far as even like stage minutes, do all these different things over the weekend, and there's so many connections, so much fun, and also the mentorship that not just Andre, Tony, and many others was as well that just gave us as far as like an in into what Black theater is, what we're doing, why we're doing it, and what the future could be. So I thought it was just an amazing time.
Yeah.
Hey, Xavier, this is phenomenal. And you really talked about your experience, but I really would like for you to take us inside of your head a little bit
Mhm.
into one memorable moment. I know there was a lot, but one memorable moment you had from this past year's festival. And what was it? And let us live that with you.
Yeah, so I'd say my most memorable moment was the chocolate box night. I remember earlier we did the monologues. Everybody was just like we were trying to warm up. We were trying to really get into it, and it felt like we wanted somebody to see it. At first it was about the competition, but then the chocolate box night it was like late. I believe it was like 10 or something like that, and we were all there. We were like, okay, what are we gonna do? They're like, yo, I think everybody's coming to this. And yeah, it was like everybody there. It was like, what 60, 90, it could have been 100 people in there. And it was a moment where it wasn't just us performing, but it was also like, not say a talent show, but it was like a show of poetry, comedy, all this different stuff. So we were interwoven between there. So it's not like we started the night, we were in between. So you didn't know when you were going. And I just remember like one of us going and just the encouragement that everybody in the crowd gave. It was loud, it was supportive, and I could tell you I saw everybody's monologues, even mine before, but everybody came to the plate. They came swinging.
Yeah.
Everybody, like as far as performance wise, I was like, yo, this is the energy. It just because I mean because being in the industry, like it's like you do films or you do commercials or anything like that, but theater is really when you're in the room with other people and you see them react to what you're doing, and you're just there with them. You're telling a story with them that you never know what's going to happen next, and just to have that support, have everybody in there just lean in, gas, laugh, shoot, even be like, yo, you know what, you did that to set the form. It was a special
Yeah.
night for me. I really felt like we really got really close. Me and my fellow interns were amazing. We that night I remember us just being like, yeah, this was a special moment for us, and that's something that I really remember from this.
Yeah. And no shade to any of the other participants of any other monologue competitions we've had. This one, I believe all of you guys, it really did thrust you into the next gear, and you really all brought it and grew, right before our eyes from the initial competition to going for it, and it also makes you fall in love with theater and live performance all over again. You know.
Yeah.
Because I know
Yeah.
everybody wants to do film, everybody wants to do television, but you don't really feel the audience like that, like you do for theater.
That's right.
And I like the fact that you all are part of our mission is to make sure that theater and Black love when it comes to theater survives.
Yeah.
Because it's been such a push towards just making sure that I came from a PWI too, like you, and I didn't meet a lot of my Black heroes in theater, and didn't get a chance to really weigh in on what that was, and being able to come to a festival. I went to my first festival years ago as a college student, and I got a chance to meet all of my heroes, Black theater heroes, so you getting a chance to experience the taste because you're like, what, a Black theater festival, like, okay.
Yeah.
uh, so yeah, that's precious, and it was a great moment to watch you guys before that live audience.
Yeah, I would wholeheartedly agree. I have a question for both of you. My question is, one of the things that I did not know when starting the Atlanta Black Theater Festival 14 years ago was how rare it is to have an opportunity to perform um, during the collegiate years, and how much not only perform but work, the opportunities to work in theater, in production. Can you talk about some of the experiences you've had, Xavier? Now, Xavier doesn't come from a HBCU. You come from NYU,
Mhm.
which is has a phenomenal. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Were you in what is Tisch School of the Arts, or which
Yeah,
school?
to school of arts, to school
Yeah,
of arts.
which is a premier.
that's it. That's that.
It's a premier school.
Enough
But
said. Mic drop on that one.
yeah, mic drop on that one as well. And NYU is my alma mater, is my graduate alma mater. And I wanted, one of the things that we discovered over the years is how rare opportunities are for African American students to work in the theater setting as interns. And I just want you to speak to what opportunities you have had, and what the students are doing, and how are they, what's their experience. I don't want to put words in your mouth. What's their experience?
Oh, well, as far as like African American at PWI, especially NYU, there was a lot of opportunities, yes, to play it, to intern. It's just it wouldn't be with fellow African Americans. Like as far as my experience to work with fellow African Americans or fellow Black people, it was very limited. But when we did get a chance, that was this very special moment. So I got, as far as like at NYU, I got to do a total of, I'd say, about 15 productions, but there was only, as far as productions with a Black cast, actually we did three of my productions were with an all Black cast, and that was rare at NYU. I'd say because I was my primary was at Stella Adler, and if you know Stella Adler, that is, as far as I love the school. It's just not many Black people there, but I was part of their first all Black cast, and we did a thing called, oh, what is it called? Ooh, it was called I think it's like the All American Black something. It was a new project, and it was our first time doing an all Black cast, and it was actually it was cause for controversy amongst the student body for some reason. I don't know why.
And what year was this? What year was this?
This was 2021.
And people, 2021, we're talking about a first at a major collegiate
It was
Ain't
the
that
first all
something?
Black cast.
institution. I'm sorry, but that's the way it goes,
Yeah.
Yeah, so and so how many shows do they do a year? Because I don't want anybody, you did 15 shows in what, 4 years?
Just 15 shows in 4 years. Now that was the whole opportunity of the fact that I was working even in the I was working even in the summer. So that like
That
I was doing, so I was summer, J turn instead of fourth. That's not normal. 15 shows.
I was gonna
not normal.
say, I've never
yeah,
heard that. You
but
did a lot. You did
That
a
yeah, but
sounds
lot.
like a lot of
I didn't,
shows.
because
15.
then I went abroad. I did the little mini series. I did all of this different stuff. So take that with a grain of salt. 15 productions is not like a
that is
achievable
rare.
goal like that.
Yeah,
It's rare.
yeah.
For just students in general, I would say you'll probably get the opportunity to do maybe 2 shows a year, so 8. Eight's really where you're gonna
Yeah.
head to. As far as the opportunity to do shows, it's whatever it's their main stage show. Their main stage show, they'll do about 4 a year, and a lot of them are on top of each other, so you're not even going to get an opportunity to do that. The biggest thing was with the student written shows, or the even the workshops. I'd say definitely get in on the stage workshops and stuff like that. Those were opportunities where you could get more Black directors, more Black written works. Was with the workshops or the student ones. It was hard. Like I said,
But you're saying main stage shows are only 4 shows a year, and you probably would get in maybe one show.
one of those. Yep.
Yeah. So if that, so yes, and I know students who get one main stage show their whole 4-year career.
Right.
And if they're especially at a PWI, it can happen at the HBCU too, but you normally get more of an opportunity to do shows at HBCUs, but there's no summer programming, which also limits the amount of shows you can do in your entirety.
So and don't forget about I'm trying to think about a play that was been Black playwright shows. Yeah, that's gonna be a hard pull to get to be a main stage, but we're trying a lot. But I would say what was interesting, very interesting, was I would have brought one semester. It was I brought my spring semester in my junior year. I went to RADA, and that was one of the opportunities where I got to talk about a Black director, and we did a Black show as well, and that was the craziest thing because over there you would not think that they would do that, but they were actually very open when it came to Black theater and giving Black artists a chance to do main shows. It surprisingly open over there.
And where'd you go?
RADA. That was so it's the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts. That's where we went.
And what country?
That was London. London.
Yeah, I was gonna say everybody doesn't know that. Yeah. Great.
So
Xavier, what are you up to now? I mean, the ABTF is going. We're trying to do this because we're trying to make sure that you come back and do stuff for us. So tell us what you're up to.
Okay, so up to now, it's been an interesting time. I'm currently in Midtown for a fashion brand that we're doing. We call Run It Up, and that's what we're doing right now. But I'm about to go to Vegas next week. So literally, I was auditioning for like 3 commercials because the industry started to speed it back up. It was really slow, like literally a month ago. But right now, I'm getting ready for like graduate auditions for multiple schools. Seeing with my manager and agent as far as like trying to get it like a commercial, whatever's coming to Atlanta, because it's been very weird in the industry, just in general, like extremely slow. But I've got a lot of auditions recently. Beyond that, I'm gonna at least get my LLC for production for like a production company. I'm trying to find a name, but it's awesome. Relatively easy to get an LLC, and allow me to say you should do it. So I'm doing that. I'm just gonna figure out a name, and then beyond that, just anything as far as business to keep myself afloat.
That's awesome.
Between times. So yeah.
That's awesome. I have one last question here, Tony, for Xavier. So Xavier, you're talking to another young person who's interested in being an intern in year 15 or 16. What is some advice you would give them?
Yeah. Oh, yes. 1, do it. 2, I would say be open to do whatever. Literally, they have your back, and there's so much you could do. And that, like, you might think, oh, it's just 2-3 days. No, there's a lot you could do during those 2-3 days. They will give you the opportunity to work, to network, to have fun. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be all these different things. You're gonna wear multiple hats, performing, stage managing. Shoot, they might even give you an opportunity to direct. You never know. You never know. And the biggest thing is that it's gonna be a lot of joy there. There's gonna be a lot of people from all walks of life, all different states. It's not gonna be just Atlanta. You be from Philly, Houston. We even have some folks from Philly, Houston, of course, New York, everywhere, and they're all supportive. So my advice is to be open, be ready to work, and when you get your opportunity, go for it.
Well, I have to tell you, Xavier, you were phenomenal, and just you were everywhere. You worked hard. You got the most out of it, and thank you for joining us today. I really appreciate that. I know you got to work, so if you need to check out, that's fine. But thank you so much for showing up today, and you got a last minute gig, so. Go for it. Go make that money while it's there to be
no
made.
problem.
Remember us, Xavier, when you get to that point. Remember you were part of ABTF.
Y'all remember me. I want to come back when I do. So
yeah, please do.
and don't and feel free to call me about
Yes.
auditioning for grad school and whatever I can do to help you prepare.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Andre. I really
I
appreciate
know
it.
I wrote about 5 letters for you, recommendation letters for you. But trust and believe they came from my heart. They really did. All of the letters. I wish you the best in your future. And thanks for joining us today. Keep in touch. Andre, I'd like you to hang around a little bit long because I want to talk more about what we can do in the future. And
Okay.
so talk to you soon, Xavier. Andre, what can and we want to position ourselves. You're a professor at Winston-Salem State. You've been around festivals, starting with the International Black Theater Festival in Winston-Salem. You've been around festivals for years. How can the Atlanta Black Theater Festival be a support? And we've been having this conversation for some time, but I don't think we've ever focused on the collegiate students, college students.
Right.
We kind of had an arm for college students, but as we shift our strategy to bridge the gap between the industry and college students, what are some of the things you think? I hope I'm not putting you on on the spot, but what are some of the things we can do to structure it so that we can be more supportive of HBCU students, but college students in general?
Well, I think we should take a page out of the athletic book is to find a way to create a a farm team or a way to to give us a G League or do something something that I've tried to advocate for years is having a HBCU summit where theater students can come and have a repertory theater during the summer times. That costs money. It means housing. It means feeding people. But I think there's somewhere somebody in the institute, somewhere can help to fund something like this. Maybe Mackenzie will come through on one of the, maybe she's listed in somewhere in the internet world. But yeah, I would love to do something like that. Have an institute that used to exist where Black students could come together with playwrights and with technicians in order to create this summer theater collective that then goes out and has a resume that is more than just the college shows, because a lot of times these college shows and your participation can be, it can be uneven as to what you actually got out of it and what you're prepared to do in the professional world.
Mm.
So it'd be great if there was an opportunity to do that. Now, what can ABTF do? I mean, I love what you're already doing, having an opportunity with this monologue competition. I like the fact that it went live with an audience of just regular people and regular artists, not people that, all are academic or all, are used to going to theater, because we need to get our audiences back. And we need our audiences to understand that there's more than just the shows that roll through there and, and take your money and give you something that might be a good show, but just for entertainment purposes. But we want to keep theater alive, and we do want African Americans who think they want to be writers or technicians, not just the actors, and somebody who wants to learn how to direct and not just call yourself a director because you got people moving around on stage.
Whoa.
So there are. I mean, there's a lot that we could do, and again, not knocking anybody's gig. I welcome people who want to do theater, even if they're not trained, because they become a part of our family. That's like saying, you can't just poo-poo a cousin just because you didn't know them, just because they're from another place that you didn't know cousin so-and-so, but they're still a part of the family. And I really want to connect. And we have a whole plethora of plays and playwrights out there that are not being seen or heard. And I'm okay with making sure that they're seen and heard. I just want to make sure that we have a way of saying, look, we can put our best and brightest up before you and compete with anybody.
Wow, you said we could create about 3 podcasts off what you just.
That's exactly right.
Man, I gotta rewind that. I mean, there's so much wisdom, Andre. That's why I love talking to you and gleaning from you. You've been my mentor for over a decade, and you just have so much insight. I don't even know what I'm not gonna respond. I'm gonna let Winston respond and follow up. Wow.
You know, Andre, I'm the same way. I haven't known you as long as Tony has, obviously, but every time you say something, I was like, all right, did we get that recorded? So, so can we rewind on that, and can we take action on it? And one of the things you said there, which was so powerful, and I know for a fact Tony and I are evangelists about this, and that is getting people to come back to the theater.
Yeah.
There is no doubt about that.
Yeah.
People, I think, for whatever reason, there's so much stuff going on in the world. Theater is not where it was before, but we know it's the most powerful thing that we can do.
That's right.
Every time we go, we're part of the festival or we go to shows. It's like going to your family's house.
Yes. Yes.
So,
And I think and I teach a lot of students. I mentor, or people put me in a position to talk to or train comedians, singers, artists from other realms, athletes, and this live theater is powerful. They all want to be a part of it, however they can be, but sometimes it's intimidating. And then they also understand when they get there, so oh yeah, you need to have a little more of a preparation than to just go up on stage. And just like comedians, they know they have to go through the trenches and go to these little clubs before they get to be big. So the same thing with theater, really to have control and over what you want to do and what projects you'd like to do in theater, you have to have those same kind of experiences and training. And I think we can provide that for people of all walks of life here at ABTF. You get a chance to, I mean, I've seen people grow from, oh, I got this little story. Can you look at it, to people who are now playwrights and taking their plays, shopping their plays, to other places to produce. So, yeah, so let's do it. Let's make something happen. I was able through one festival to actually get to have college students from different schools come together to have a one show experience, but it wasn't an entire summer, but they got so much out of it by just by having camaraderie. But I think we can do that. And used to happen through an organization called NADSA years ago, and it was a regular summer thing, at least for a couple of summers. And I would love to see it happen again.
that's awesome. Tony, it would be so remiss if I didn't share that in this past festival, I saw Andre perform for the first time. Mary McCallum's it was Summer Breeze. You were so awesome in that.
Well, thank
I
you.
was like, oh my gosh, that's Andre. You had that kind of reaction to that.
Yeah. And playing the bad guy in that
Yeah.
movie. So
I was like,
yeah, but yeah, it's definitely a pleasure to be able, and I like that I'm having a second career, I guess, or resurgence, and actually being on stage again, and to have students witness the fact that that I'm not just talking to them, I'm also, walking in their shoes, having stage fright, having moments of, oh my gosh, am I going to remember these lines? Having moments of, okay, calm down. This is an audience. You love them. They love you. Let's make this happen. So, I can still teach from a vantage point of just real time management and understanding how to be on stage and how to prepare to be on stage. But also, I've been in the trenches on the tech side. And so, the writing side, producing. So I would love for other students to, other people to, especially people of color and African American artists to get that and understand how to do that.
I have a question for you, Andre. I know something that the audience may not get, because Xavier talked about Black theater and the Black theater experience versus doing other theater.
Mhm.
What is it about the Black theater experience that's so distinctive and so important? Because once you experience it, if you've been in majority theater and you go to Black theater, you experience Black theater, I don't care whether it's an artist, performer, whatever, what is it that's about Black theater that we need to preserve this art form?
Well, the fact that the stories are familiar to us, we know these people, we grew up with these people, and not that people go to school with all kinds of people, and you have experiences, but I think the fact that if you could find a universal story, and for some people it doesn't even have to be, that, but a universal story, which means anybody, any person can experience that, but they also happen to be Black. I mean, you have a combination, a trifecta when it comes to having people at the helm who also are African American. They understand that you have a propensity to be late sometimes. So we're gonna overlook that. When we catering food, the smells are familiar to us. A lot of us have become vegetarian for various reasons. There's a way of leaning into that so that that vegetarianism looks like something that you understand, right? The fact that just because you have to live, you're not just doing shows with people, you're living with people, and you want to live with people that understand you, and not just understand you, but there's not that competition or competitive thing to try to fit in, or you have a place to just be, and you
Yeah.
can just breathe, and you don't have to look over your shoulder to see if am I measuring up. And that's, again, not to knock any culture, but it's there, whether they wanted to be there or not, it's just there. um and having, like you said, been in both situations. I've performed with some wonderful cast, had some wonderful directors that weren't Black, but by the time you do all of that, it's great, you appreciate it, but then when you actually do Black theater, it's just a difference. It's um and it's nice to know in a majority world, in a majority country, that there's still a place for us to be able to unthreateningly, unapologetically be, just relax and just be myself.
And I would like to add to that. I mean, if Winston, you can cut it and jump in at any time. What I would like to add to that is one of the things that I think that has been impressed upon us as a community is Black as a political position, like politicizing Blackness, and I think that is unfair. I think when I see Black theater, or when I experience Black theater, I experience Black as a culture.
Hmm.
And that's the big, huge difference for me. And I think one example is a wonderful example is Bad Bunny in the Super Bowl and his refusing to translate and sing in English. He wants to sing in Spanish because he wants to authentically express his Puerto
Yeah,
Rican heritage.
yeah,
And the best way, and language is a part of culture. And his refusal to do it in English, I think just speaks to the importance of not blending or assimilating, but holding on to your cultural heritage. And that's what Black theater does for me.
yeah,
It does the same for me. And the thing, both of you have said this so wonderfully, is that if I go to see a show and say the show is based in Houston or in Seattle, but it's about a Black story, it's still Black people, and culturally it resonates with me. I think one of the things that we do well as a culture is that we understand that we can adapt and learn other cultures at the same time. We
yeah. I
don't
mean,
say it has to
yeah,
be in this box. It has to be within these walls. We can actually listen to a show, a Black theater show about people in France doing stuff, and then they're still Black
right,
people in France.
right. I
And
mean,
I think that that's kind of a distinction between us.
and
And
that's the thing. It does link us to people, around the country, around the world, where we go, oh yeah, I experienced that, or say, oh, my family used to do that kind of stuff, and
yeah,
so yeah, you have that recognition that you really want to lean into. So I just know how else to explain it. It's just like family reunion is how we used to explain the theater festival in North Carolina. As a reunion of spirit, um, and it's a holy ground because it's something that we revere. Once you recognize it, sometimes you go to church, you don't know you're gonna get hit by the spirit. You know, you don't know that. You
Yeah.
hope it's gonna happen, but when
Yes.
you go to Black theater and you get hit by the spirit of our ancestors and of the things that are recognizable to us, that is it's hard to explain it, you know.
It is, and I would definitely, I can't wait to go to the International Black Theater Festival this summer. It's always fun for me because I don't have to work it. I can enjoy it.
Right.
But,
As I'm running around saying, "Hey, Tony."
yeah, you run around, right? But the thing about it is it is certainly holy ground, and I think that it really does celebrate the traditions of theater. I don't want to speak for their messaging, but that's what I hear, and I love that the Atlanta Black Theater Festival has been dubbed as the Mecca of Black theater, which is another sacred space. And the fact that there's opportunity for people all over the country to see and experience Black theater all under one event is truly rare. And I hope and pray, and I hope and pray that people seek out the Black theater festivals in their communities or close to their communities. Check the dates, sign up for our email, our newsletter. We just launched a newsletter, and it's called the Theater Festival Newsletter. Okay. And we'll be talking about Black theater. It's a quarterly, and if you haven't gotten a copy of it, I'll put the subscription sign up on the at the bottom of the screen, so you can sign up and get plugged in and get in touch. This was great. Thank you.
Thank you all so much for inviting me. I've enjoyed. I was excited about getting on, and I've enjoyed being on. And you all, this is such a wonderful festival, and I think that, you know, the way it's set up and the way now we're positioning ourselves, the connection with Spelman, the connection with other HBCUs, connection with NANSA. And I mean, there's always been a respect from the North Carolina Festival. I really think that there's room for more festivals on top of that, where we all can be that conduit for Black students, especially, but for all students, but for Black students especially, where we can be seen, we can be heard, we can develop our craft, we can have, you know, there are farm teams in baseball all over the country. We can have 32 theater festivals that these students can tour and work with, you know.
Yes.
I think it's important that we continue to hope that that's something that's going to happen in the future. I have students waiting for me right now on a rehearsal Zoom that they're on listening and waiting. But the fact that they want to rehearse on a Saturday morning for a show they have in November, and it's like, come on, you all. Yeah, I really want you all to do this, and I want there to be a place for you once we get done with teaching you at the college level.
Yeah. Wow, what a day. Let's Talk Theater Live.
Let's Talk Theater is phenomenal. So Andre, as always, thank you so much. Every time we talk to you, you fill up our reservoir. So we appreciate
thank you
it.
so much. And I feel very loved here. So thank you for being that community, one of the prongs of my Black theater community. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a happy day.
Take care.
You too.